is the cost of fuel. We import $7.5 billion worth of diesel, petroleum products, and $7.5 billion worth of oil for power generation. If we can use some technology which can reduce the dependence on the petroleum products by 10%, then we are talking of $700 million of market. And we use $1 billion to import knockdown kits to assemble the cars to burn that $7 billion worth of oil. Then we can actually address another $1 billion. If 10% reduced, we talk of $100 million more. So we have a $800 million worth of market annually. And if we shift to electric vehicles, and I'm not talking of electric vehicles for performance cars, Toyota Corollas and Hondas or Mercedes, we're talking of King Gs, we're talking of rickshaws, we're talking of the smaller cabs and taxis and vans. We can very quickly shift with 100% indigenous electric vehicles, where motors are made in Pakistan, the batteries are made in Pakistan, the controls are made in Pakistan, the chassis is made in Pakistan, and all can also be charged with solar charging stations or conventional electricity. This way, if we design it properly, we have all the rickshaws transferred to electricity, with all the taxis transferred to electricity, all the vans transferred to taxi and electricity. Thereafter, we can actually go for changing cars also to hybrid or to electric vehicles. We can even transform the entire population of 100,000 motorcycles per annum into electric bikes. This way, we can reduce the gas load shedding, as all the vehicles CNG have shifted to CNG. We can reduce the oil imports, we can reduce the pollution. Hopefully, this project is going to come with Hamdard University vehicle designs by 2015, and for this we've already got Volta battery working with us. There's the Amin machinery group which is working with us in development of the tools and dies with us. We have a few investors coming into the entire assembly of this system. And what I always very hammer it, that energy is essential for economic growth of the country, and at this time, as the government says that we'll finish off load shedding in 5 years, 2 years, 10 years time, I don't agree with that. What I always question is, when would an average Pakistani use energy equal to a developed country? I've picked up England and I've picked up 1970s England. And why 1970? Because England was using 70,000 megawatt in 1970, and England has half the population of Pakistan. So in 1970, if Pakistan was to use energy equal to England of 1970, we should have had 140,000 megawatt in 1970. Let's see how much is the targeted growth if we want to use energy equal to England of 1970. If we want to do that by 2050, then we need to have 15% growth rate, or putting in 3,000 megawatts annually into grid. We're talking of $3 billion annually minimum. If you go for 10% growth, 2070 model, 2,000 megawatt in a year. 2,000 megawatt means about $2 to $3 billion going into the energy market only. And if you talk of 7% growth rate, that's 2090, then 1333 megawatts are supposed to be fed into the grid. That means around $2 billion annually in energy. If we don't, and we continue using the existing growth rate, which is 1.7% or 346 megawatt per year in the last 10 years, then I'm afraid in this century also, population and masses and our next generation will not be able to use energy equal to England of 1970. So we have to think radical, and we have to think in a different way. And the driving forces are the financial resources. I think we can muster up that. Technology, yes, we can acquire that and develop it. Human resource is available. We run the entire Middle East. We run it. Our experts are there in America. What is missing is mindset. we need to actually come to mindset, develop, design, manufacture things locally, and thereafter, once we have that mindset, we can use our own human resource and technology and to develop that financial resources also. And I've given you here the breakdown. Even if we use the entire 40,000 megawatt of hydropower, we still need 80,000 megawatts, which have to be balanced between thermal, nuclear, wind, and renewable energy equally. And this requires $3 to $6 billion annual financial outlay. And if you just say equity, then we talk of $600 million. And I think we need to plan accordingly that government should put $600 million equity, and rest should come through the banks and debt financing. And what I very strongly propose in all my presentations, that the energy cycle of transition of West is from nil to wood to coal to oil and gas to nuclear, and now they are all shifting towards alternative energy. They plan to do so by 2050. For Pakistan, this picture shows you we are still in wood, using wood in remote areas, and what I very strongly recommend is, instead of going to coal, oil and gas, nuclear, Pakistan should now plan severely and sincerely with all its strength to go to solar and alternative energy way, and in 25 years we can actually join the leaders of the world and meet our energy crisis. And for that, we strongly recommend solar thermal energy generation components, photovoltaic manufacturing in Pakistan, wind turbine manufacturing in Pakistan, bioenergy components manufacturing in Pakistan, and marine energy. And for past 20 years, I've continued to promote solar energy, and these graphs since 1994 show how from one lab we've gone to thousands of labs in the next 10 years time, and each and every time we've gone to as high as 18,500 feet right down to the desert, and here under the University in Balochistan. And with this I conclude. I am also the chairperson of Pakistan section of International Solar Energy Society. I'd like you all to contact me at my email, which is given here in the slide, and I'll be more than pleased to join any effort which is there for indigenization of solar energy equipment, be it solar geyser, be it solar cells, be it Stirling engine, solar thermal power, or bioenergy, biogas, biodiesel. We've done each and everything here indigenously. Join us in this effort. Help Pakistan reduce its energy demands, energy requirements. Thank you very much.